Jai Gajanan. Ganeshaya Namastubhyam. Herambaya Ekadantine. Swanandavasine Tubhyam. Brahmanaspataye Namaha. With humble pranams to all Paramacharyas, Acharyas and Gurus, let us continue our study on Jnanasara from where we left off in the last session. In the last session, we saw the lokas of the five Ishwaras, Shiva, Vishnu, Shakti, Surya and Ganesh, and the location of Svananda Loka in the lokas of each of these Ishwaras. Now Sanaka is asking Ganaka Rishi, Prabhu, please tell us where Swananda Palace is located in Brahma Loka as per the Shrutis. Ganaka replies, the Smritis say that Satya Loka holds the pride of place as the awakened world of the five elements, which also hosts the ego or the sense of I. The primordial principles exists in its unmanifest form in the dream and deep sleep states, while in Brahma Loka there are all the three states. So Brahma of Brahma Loka is Karya Brahma. That is the Brahma who is endowed with actions. And he is addressed as Purusha in the Vedas, which is his Turiya state. Those who are well versed in Vedas call the creator Karana Brahma as Vidhu, while in other places they are known as Panchayatan Devas. Between actions and its cause, its absence is the most excellent. So this is verily Brahma Loka according to Pancham Brahma as well. It is called Swananda Palace at Svananda Loka, which appears as a cluster of luminous light. It shines like a crore suns, but cooler than a crore winters. Brahma, who bestows happiness on all gods and Brahmas, is Brahmanaspati. Swananda palace of the Supreme was unattainable even in the ancient times, even to Shiva, gods, and yogis. It is located at the center of Ikshusagar, situated north of several crores of universes. It is the causal Brahmaloka. Brahmari is the Twampada Shakti and Murdhani is Tatpada that provides support to Shakti. Kamadahini is the Asipada of Parashakti. She resides at Tanmurdhani Palace, spread across a vast circular expanse of 10 crores yojanas. 1 yojana is equal to 13 kilometers. So it has a vast expanse of 10 crores yojanas in breadth, which means 13 crore kilometers. Bindu is a form of Mahamaya whose position is like a gemstone, which is called Chintamani, the most excellent of all rocks. In the central portion of Brahmanaspati's city is the seat of Ganesha, which is considered as the source. Seated on that Bindu throne as Purna Omkar is the witness of all, a luminous shining light. Nirguna, Supreme Brahma, is a blemishless light, seated on an absolutely blemishless throne of Shunya Omkar. He gets divided in the middle as a self-luminous being and is addressed as Svananda Brahma. He rules seated on a throne of the single-lettered word. His abode extends up to 100 yojanas. The expert yogis have mentioned that half of this luminous light is evident and they alternate between themselves one after the other separately. The fiery light illuminates Siddhi Buddhi. It is from here that the first enclosure, consisting of 8 sides or directions, begin. The first 8 positions from the Bindu are the 8 Vigneshwaras. And the conjunctions of these 8 places are Vakratunda and others serially. The place for sport is a place of Vakratunda. The Chintamani gem of the Lord was created in a canopy of gems. He is seated in a throne of gems in Sukhasan with Siddhi and Buddhi on either side. Along with Gajanana, Chandrachud, Shunda, along with Gajanana, Chandrachud, Shunda, Danda are also seated there. Excuse me. The blood-red, three-eyed Ekadanta is seated with a noose and hatchet shining in his frame of 4 hands. Lambodara with his long trunk wearing red Angavastra across his neck is seated adorned with all ornaments and wearing yellow colored robes. In order to please Vakratunda, Siddhi Buddhi with Bindu on their foreheads chant the name of Brahmanda Nayaka ceaselessly while looking at him with adoration. The 5 devas are equipped with necessary powers to carry out their respective leelas in creation, and they are engaged in their own work. Pancham himself, along with Shakti, becomes a witness of all, playing in various ways while establishing within them. Om Manishwara. Ekadanta's place of play too is very strange and unusual and incomparable. At Chintamani, Gajanana is seated in Sukhasan, adorned with all ornaments along with Siddhi Buddhi. He is carrying on his play in the universe. Brahma, born of the lotus, creates Rudra from Sadashiva. Vishnu creates the Lord of Lights, Bhaskara, the husband of Kamala. Surya and Chandra create Himanshu and Dinanayaka. Chandala and Brahmanas create Brahmanas and Pancham. Snow is made of water just as water takes snow is actually made of water, and just as water takes the form of snow, an atom itself becomes the Mahameru mountain. Mahameru is made of atoms. So also, as the subjects make a king, the king makes his subjects. Brahman creates a stalk, and from the stalk is born the lotus. In this way, he creates various things with Siddhi Buddhi for his pleasure. The purpose of songs is to highlight the position of Mahodara, seated on a divine throne along with Siddhi Buddhi. The Rigveda praises his human form by singing his virtues through Brahmanaspati Suktam and Ganesha Suktam. Yajurveda praises him with Shanti Slokas and Ganesha Sukta. Samaveda too sing praise of Deva Ganesha. Through Nama Ashtakam and Ganesha Sukta, Gandharvas sing his praise along with the Vedas reverentially at this abode of Svananda Loka. Through Atharvana Mantra Suktas, Atharvas praise Vignapa. Upanishad Purusha enlightens with knowledge of the beyond. Now, here we have all the personifications of the scriptures. Pranava recites the Atharvashish 100 times. Itihas and Purana Purushas describe his divine form. Marich taught this Ganesh knowledge of Brahma and Brahmanda to Mudgala through a work titled Brahma Jnana Sukhodayam, which enlightened his heart. So he then got the knowledge to compose the Mudgal Puran, describing Gananayaka's 8 incarnations, and which includes the Ganesh Gita as part of the 9th Khand of the Mudgal Puran. It reveals the Shuddha Ganapat Advaita philosophy of Gajanana. The earlier philosophies praised the Mimamsas and Tattvadarshanis. Listening to all this, Ganesha, along with the Shaktis, are happy and are filled with bliss. The abode of Lambodara, the Svananda Loka, is unparalleled. He rests in Sukhasan on his gem-studded throne with Siddhi Buddhi. These are the 8 incarnations, how and where they are seated in Svananda Loka. He relishes on a variety of food prepared by Anima and others. Siddhi Buddhi serve him as he receives them with his trunk. Having happily feasted on the food served to him, he joyously accepts the betel nut with leaves handed over to him. He holds Mahasiddhi Parambika with his left hand and embraces Mahabuddhi on his right joyfully. There is an enormous lotus of 1,000 petals said to be the bedroom of the Lord. In the middle of the lotus, there is a huge bed where he sleeps with Siddhi Buddhi. He drinks turmeric milk served to him by Siddhi Buddhi happily. He is surrounded by Siddhi on his left and Mahabuddhi to his right, dressed with his favorite ornaments. They are performing different acts to amuse him without the enchantments of Maya. The sleeping place of Vignaraja is called Lam. Vignanayaka lies on a bed in the center of 1,000 petal lotus in the middle of Ikshusagar. The bed for his yoga nidra is supported with extremely soft pillows near his ears. Vignanayaka is in yoga nidra while Siddhi Buddhi are pressing his feet gently. The smoke-colored place is the dancing theatre of the Paramatma. The canopy is adorned with pillars studded with thousands of gemstones. On the throne, Gananayaka is seated with Siddhi Buddhi. At the time of annihilation of the universe, Ganapa lifts his left leg up. Ganapa dances blissfully to the beats of Mrudam, happily played by Gunesh and Ganaka. Along with the instruments, the 4 Vedas too sing to their heart's content. When Ganapa dances, lifting up his right leg, Prakriti also joins. She too expresses herself in dance, and gods amuse themselves by tapping their feet. So, when Ganapa or the Brahmanaspati Ganapa lifts his left leg, it is a time for annihilation. When the Brahmanaspati Ganapa lifts his right leg, Prakriti starts manifesting and the creation happens. The unmanifest God performed Urdhva Tandava. Siddhi claps to the beat of the song and dances, while Mahabuddhi Parambika plays on the veena. Brahma is looking on pleasantly at the scene filled with joy. Gajanana's place is said to be at the Agnya. The 1,000-pillared mandap created out of the gemstone has a divine throne where the 4-armed Lord is seated enjoying everything. Tivra and other Shaktis are holding lotuses on either side, lotuses of 8 petals near the ears, while Siddhi Buddhi are seated on either side in Sukhasan. He is wearing divine robes shining with all kinds of glittering ornaments. He has a ring on which is engraved the symbol of Jyeshtha. There is a white umbrella above his head. Bodyguards are standing behind his throne and fanning the Paramatma with white chamaras. The unmanifest Ganapa's minister, a young prince, all listen with attention. The unmanifest Gunesha is also present around his feet. around his the divine seat of Ganesha. As communicated by an announcement, everyone has assembled to pay their respects to Vignapa and are waiting for instructions from Brahmanaspati. The moment a sentence is heard from the Lord, it begins to work instantly. Here no one else speaks except Brahmanaspati. Associating with creation, consciousness manifested as Ganaka Prabhu. He is the same one who was earlier seated on the divine throne blissfully. He is the embodiment of Ganesha. He is Brahmanaspati for all devotees of the universe. All of creation, whether they are born of an egg, of the people, that is through copulation, of directions, of nations, in villages, in gotras, families, and ashrams. He is the guru of all the devotees from all varnashramas, as well as of ancestors and family deities. He is the Ganaka who wrote books about himself as Ganakeshwar and about the rituals followed by gods sequentially to fulfill all the desires as well. For writing books of this kind, it is necessary to have the grace and blessings of the Supreme, whom the gods happily address as Brahmanaspati. He is Senapati to all Senapatis, thereby becoming the administrator to all ministers as well. Standing in an unmanifest state behind him are 7 crore Ganas, including several armies already stationed with the 4 types of forces. Ganaka is a support of the 8 crore Ganeshas, established by innumerable devotees spread throughout the universe in community temples and puja rooms at home. Pramoda is a chief who is entrusted with all powers and authority. He stands with all adornments stunningly blissful. Brahma Priya also enjoys Svananda, the abode of knowledge of the Lord, including all forms of knowledge, yoga, kala, and maika. Standing in the assembly are also the Kinkaras, Veera and Samanta Manganas. Aparajita's cruel action come at the gaze of Vinayaka. The cruel Gajagriva and Chanda were both protected by Vinayaka and brought together as friends. Ganapa established himself as Pancham, the Lord of Ether, as well as Brahmatma, Vishwatma, Suryatma, and who caused the birth of Gajanana. The one born out of dirt, well known as Pancham, attains Swananda at the end of the Kalpa. The Lord is seated in the form of Gajanana in his assembly. In an earlier Kalpa, he was the chief of the 5 Ishwaras. The 5 Ishwaras of the universe go to Swananda palace where they are positioned as members of the Brahmanaspati's assembly. Others present there are the designated positions representing Vedas, Upanishads, Mimamsas, and Puranas. The gods of weapons, Astras, and Shastras and Mantras are also present in the Lord's assembly. Therefore, it is very fortunate to be present at the place of command. The incarnating personage and hundreds of their divisions, including planets circulating in space, were present in their embodiments. This place is popularly known as Ganeshpuram. To his left is Mahasiddhipuram, where Siddhi stands there with her Ganas. To the right is the enchanting Mahabuddhipuram, where the charming Buddhi is present invisibly there. On the backside is the enchanting Guneshapuram, Ganapa's mantri is also present in his unmanifest form along with his incarnated forms, along with their respective ganas, who appear joyous as always. On the western side is Ganakapuram, where he is present in his own personal incarnation as the initiator of Ganapatya Parampara. The gurus of former times, such as Gargya and Mudgala, Marshis, are also present there with the Paramaguru, Param Brahma Guru. Siddhipuram is located on the east at the back side where Siddhi's son, Lab, head of assembly, is present, along with Ganesha in person. Lab, who is a bestower of Lab, who is the son of Buddhi, Lab, who is a bestower of all benefits, is present there. To the east of Buddhipuram is Lakshapuram, Buddhi's son Laksha, with all great virtues. Siddhi's son Laksha, with all great virtues, is present there. To the west of Buddhipuram is Kalapattanam, where Kala is present. Lord Kinkara is present with Ganas to fulfill Vigna and Avigna. On the west side of Siddhipuram is Mayurapattanam. Here stands Vainayaki Mahamaya Mayura, the enchantress of the whole world, having several crores of servants to serve her. In the first enclosure are the 8 Puranas with their vehicles in their proximity. Just outside the entrance to the Puram are the gatekeepers to whom Prabhu's orders are being communicated through Moda. Veera and other Varna Devas, Shastra and Astra Devatas, protectors of the woods, are all present along with their Ganas. This is Svananda Palace situated in the middle of Ikshusagar, created by Svananda Brahma Ganesha. It is from here that everything is set in motion. The great Pancham, who is a support for all, resides here. When one prays to him, he creates the play along with Siddhi Buddhi. So, after describing the whole of Svananda Loka, that is the Satya Loka, which was the abode of Brahma, Brahmanaspati, and then subsequently Brahma, when he manifested as Ganesha, and he became in that the form of Ganesha or Gajamukha. There he again becomes the Brahma, Brahmanaspati, and occupies that loka as the Svananda Loka. Sanaka asks, Ganesha is at the source, present as luminous light. Please tell us how to meditate upon 3 forms of light. Ganaka replies, the Supreme Brahma is the light called Swananda. Having a face of an elephant, he is Swananda Brahma. The Lord of Swananda Gajanana has 2 tusks and is accompanied by Siddhi Buddhi carrying lotus in their hands. So this is a kind of his picture is giving a picture of the image for helping yogis to meditate. So the Lord of Swananda, Gajanana, has 2 tusks and is accompanied by Siddhi Buddhi carrying lotus in their hands. Meditate on Ganesha, the Lord of Swananda, as light. The light illuminates his nirguna form at the time of death. Meditate on Nirguna Vignapa with his right hand, showing the mudra of blessing, in whose attendance Siddhi Buddhi stand by his side. In a Saguna aspect, he is luminous. He has a broken tooth in his right hand. He is also showing the mudra in blessing. The nose and hatchet are in his upper two hands, while the left hand holds a vessel for a modak. Siddhi are standing towards the back for assisting him. All three forms of Brahma are meditated upon by yogis. Sanaka asks, when Brahmanaspati is seated in his palace at Svananda, the eight incarnations are addressed as Shatamurti. Please tell us about it, O teacher. Ganaka said, Kailash has been the place since earliest of times for best of devotees of the universe to assemble and perform puja to his idol and listen to Shiva speak. It was at Swananda Palace in Kailash that they listened reverentially. Vakratunda, Siddhibuddhi's husband, Dundi and Lord of Virat, Hiranyagarbha Ishvara, Varada, Ekadanta, Parasharya, son of Kashyapa, Lord of Pushti, the son of Kapila, Omkareshwar, Lord of Mantras, one who has blessed the Vedas, Mahodara, Panchakanyapati, destroyer of ignorance. Remover of difficulties, bestower of boons to the five gods, bestower of boons, Gajanana, Vignahartha, Sindhura Gananayak, Skandagraja, Tattvapati, Lord of knowledge, Lord of enjoyments, Lambodara, Shaktipati, and one who is an embodiment of Shakti, Lord of Moshaka, son of Shakti, one who bestows boon on Sri Shammi, bestower of boon on Sri Shakti, who has a form of Surya, and Prabhapati, Mayuresh, son of Surya, Lord of Surya, Vikata, Rakta, Shvetarkavarada, Vignesha, Shurpakaranaka, Chaturbhuja, Lord of Lakshmi, Vishnu Rupa, Ganeshwara, Dharanidhara, Vishnavish, who enlightens knowledge of oneself, is all present there. And these are the names of his various manifestations. Dumnavarna, Shambhurupi, Parvati Gananayaka, Mahesh Varada Kala, Durva Ganapati, Shvetarka Ganapati, Shampi Ganapati, Mandara Ganapati, Sumangala Ganadipa, Gajadanta, born out of dirt, Shonabhadra, Ganadipa, Katanka Kata, Sudhamurti, Haridra Gananayaka, Avimukta, Gavya, Chandan, bearer of the form of Yaksha, Laksheshwar, Labheshwar, Sahastravandana, Ekakshara, Trimukha, Shanmukha, Panchavakra, Sumukha, Kalpaka, Durga, Mahaganapati, Durmukha, Nidhi, Kukshiravela, Aghora, Nrutak, Lord of Charada, Lord of Bhutas, Krishna, Lakshmi, Ganeshwara. These are all the names of the Supreme Gananayaka. Bhumeshwara, Dhumaketu, Vayu, Vanni, one who holds the Pasha, Akasha, Ganapa, Indragnya Kshipra Prasadana, one who bestows fearlessness, Jeshta Raja, Chaturanana, one who fulfills the desires of the young and old. Truly, these are the 108 names for puja of Ganesha's idol. When you install an idol of Ganesha at one's home, you can perform this Ganesh Puja by chanting these 108 names while offering Durva or any other red colored flower. Sanaka asks, O teacher, please tell us about the 10 incarnations, about the incarnations of Ganapa and the period of time when he incarnated. Ganaka replies, There are 4 yugas of Chaturanana. 4 yugas is a Manvantara, and there are 14 Manvantaras. In one Surya Kalpa, there are 30 days in a month and 12 such months. There are 8 incarnations of the Lord. At the end of the Kalpa, there is a Pralaya which ends the incarnations of Brahma. Sanaka asks, in the description of Svananda, a mention was made about the 5 divine beings. What is its meaning? And please tell us about it. Ganaka replies, the Vedas speak about the division of space into 5 parts, each of which was controlled by one god or one Ishvara. They were Brahma, Vishnu, Surya, Shakti, and Shiva. And later Pancham was born as Shakti's son, known to those well versed in Vedas. Gaja, born to the two, was Shiva's favorite. It is believed the son born out of dirt was Shakti's favorite. The elephant faced Ganesha, born of the two, has his abode on the southwest part. Ganesha, born with elephant's head, has a Gopuram entrance from the south. Being the foremost born as an Ansh of Brahma, his abode is Swarga Swananda Palace of Pancham. Now Sanaka goes on to ask, O Lord, please tell us about the 12 types of creation. Ganaka replies, Ganesha is called Purusha and Prakriti is Jagadatmika. Ganesha is the support for the 3 gunas, while Prakriti is made up of the 3 gunas. So, Ganesha forms the substratum for the support of the 3 gunas, Sattva, Rajas and Tamas. Through the union of both, the threefold form of this world came into existence. Ganesha with a gross body is called Jagrat Brahma. Vedas speak of the 12 divisions of this Jagrat Shrishti or Jagrat creation or awakened creation. They form a part of Ganesha when he manifested from the consciousness of Swananda Ganesha. Ganesha exists as Jagrat Brahma, and it is from here that the Trimurti came into existence. During the Sattva period, Maharudra came into being. Rudradev manifested from grandfather Janardana. Later, during the Rajasic period, Padmaja was born. Hara was born from Hari, from the center between the eyebrows. During Tamasic period of Narayana, during the Tamasic period, Narayana was born of Vidhu, from the center between the eyebrows. From his Nabi region was born Vidhi. At the time of absorption or annihilation, or when the world ends, Prakriti gets absorbed into Brahmanaspati. Durga, Lakshmi, Saraswati are Prakriti's Guna Shaktis, Sattva, and Tamas. They get absorbed into the Jagrat Brahma for benevolence of the people. Similarly, at the time of creation, the goddess who manifests assumed the qualities of Lakshmi when born from Brahma. The 4 facets of speech are Rudra's Vani, Durga's Mahavani, Vishnu's Kalika, and Govinda's awakened Lakshmi. Mahadurga of Maharudra is for connecting the Matruganas. During the period of Sattva, she assumes the role of Saraswati. From Saraswati and Lakshmi were born Rajasic Kamala and Tamasic Kalika. When both Prakriti and Purusha come together, Brahma, Vishnu, Rudra, Lakshmi, Vani, and Kalika manifest. That is Brahma, Vishnu, Rudra, and their consorts Lakshmi, Vani, and Kalika. They manifest on the body of Jagrat Brahma through the vision of Brahma. So, initially it was the Rudra's period, Maharudra's period, then comes Brahma's period, and then comes Narayana's period. From the Navi lotus of Keshava Padmaja is born. From the eyebrow center, see, in every Mahakalpa, there is a predominance of one of the Ishwaras, and from that same predominant Ishwara are born Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, Shakti, Suryas. So here, from the Navi lotus of Keshava, that is in the Vishnu's period, Padmaja is born. From the eyebrow center of Brahma, Kumar Nila Lohita is born. During Rajasic period, Bharati is born from the left side of Vidhi. Mahadeva and Janardana are born from his arms. During the Tamasic period, Parvati is born of Shiva. Because in Tamasic period, Shiva is predominant. From Shiva, Vishnu, Brahma, Shakti, Lakshmi and Saraswati are born. Upakalpas of creation results in 12 divisions. Now Sanaka is asking, oh teacher, please tell us about the 7 types of kalpas. So he was telling about the who was the predominant Ishvara in each of the kalpa. So now the next obvious question is, what are the 7 types of kalpas? So Ganaka is replying. A divine Manvantara is a period of 71 yugas. Now remember, in a Mahakalpa, there are 14 Manvantaras. So a divine Manvantara, one Manvantara is equal to 71 or 72 yugas. In short, it comes to 1000 1000 Chaturyugas. At the end of which the earth is destroyed. Nitya Kalpa is one Kalpa of Manu. The 14 Manus to get absorbed occasionally due to unusual circumstances. Dinakalpa is created by Brahma for a special cause. During a Dinakalpa, the earth and the heavens manifest from Brahma. Rasa, Patala Loka get destroyed. Beings become godly in nature, while gods are destroyed. The creative Vidhi remains in the Virata body for 100 years. This is during a Dinakalpa. In the first half, Padmaja, born of the lotus, creates the 14 universes. Remember, Dinakalpa is a one-off occasion. It's not for every time it repeats. It's a special type of kalpa. Marich, Brigu, and other yogis like Sanaka appeared from the body of Brahma. Vishnu, Rudra, and Hara are also manifested. Everything gets destroyed equally fast by the force of annihilation. Once Jagrat Brahma is established, Brahma installs himself as Jagatpati, the Lord of the universe. Then Vedas also speak of the period ending with annihilation of the Jagrat Brahma or the awakened Brahma. And this is mentioned as a Brahma Kalpa, the period when Brahma's lifetime ends. Similarly, the period of annihilation of Swapna Brahma, here it is not the Parabrahma, This is the Brahma Deva, whose that 100 years ends and he gets absorbed into the Parabrahma. Then is the period of Swapna Brahma or the dream state Brahma, which is also called Vishnu Kalpa. Vishnu is the lord of the dream state. Again, the period ending with annihilation of the Sushupta or the deep sleep state, that is the Rudra Kalpa, as per the Vedas. After the passage of time, creation happens from deep sleep and dream states. Ganesha's annihilation and creation from Turiya state, which is called the Mahakalpa by scholars in Vedas, for proximity to Brahma, for being in his presence, for holding the gunas of Maya in balance, Yoga Marga is the path to follow. During Pralaya, that's a minor destruction, minor annihilation, Vedas and knowledge of Tattvas are the last to end. Dualities of creation with Saguna and Nirguna aspects of Brahma are permanent. The form of self is truth. Dualities diminish. So, this is the sevenfold structure of a kalpa, how the kalpa flows. So, how does it flow? It begins with the Dinakalpa, which is a one-time occasion, that is initial, the entire structure or the framework is created. Then follows by the Vidhis Kalpa. Then you have the Jagrat Avastha, Jagrat Brahma. Then Vishnu Kalpa, Rudra Kalpa. Then Guneshas. So these are all the seven kalpas. For understanding these kalpas, we need to follow the Yoga Marga. Now Sanaka is asking, please tell us about Brahmanaspati's vehicle. Ganaka replies, the lord of the four Brahmas is Ganesh. The fourfold universe is Sat Brahma, Asat Brahma, Sat Brahma. Asat Brahma is the Shakti's Turiya state of being. Sat Brahma is the I-ness of Surya, Atma. He is the bearer of these four types of bodies. Sat is Surya, and he himself is established as the doership in all. So the Dehatma, the Atma which bears a body, has an equal bearing in all. Sama Brahma is Vishnu, who is the Lord of operations in this world. He is the Lord who operates the three aspects of Maya, that is Sattva, Rajas and Tamas. Shiva is the bearer of the Turiya state of being. The union of Turiya state of all four becomes the Guneshwara. So the unmanifest assumes the form of the collective, and from the unmanifest of the Ishwaras, it becomes this universe or the collectively known as Virata Purusha. The Supreme, and the Supreme is present in all of this form. At the Ishwara's level, Ganesha is present as the Atma in all of them when it is expressed externally. Present in the heart of the Dehi, the Lord Himself experiences all enjoyments. He is a participant in all the merits and sins, but He is devoid of it. He is above it. Since He experiences and enjoys from within, like a thief, He is called Karya Brahma. Just as a Moshaka or the rat gnaws away at the metal from within, so also the Lord resides in the heart of the Jiva and steals away all the enjoyments enjoyed by the Purusha or the person. Since Moshika behaves in this manner, he came to be known as Guneshwar. He who is a union of the four Brahmas is known as a Pancham. In order to be at the service of the Lord of Brahmanaspati, he takes birth as Moshaka to be his vehicle. So it is this Guneshwara, the Turiya aspect of the four Ishwaras, that has become the Moshaka, the Vahana of Brahmanaspati. Ashwa or the horse stands as a form of the Vedas, where the horse becomes a vehicle. Vedic Pandits call Maya Mayura. Maya is a Mayura, the peacock. Maya is illusory or merely an appearance. Vishnu himself became Mayura in order to be the Lord's vehicle, as narrated by himself once. So they incarnate to be the vehicle of the Lord. That is why in the south, or even in Tirupati and many other places, whenever there is an Utsavam or festival, we have this Garuda Vahana, this Mayura Vahana, the Hasti Vahana, the Ashwavahana, so, or riding on the horse, where the Lord is placed on all these vehicles. And the lords, the Ishwaras themselves have manifested as these Vahanas for carrying the Lord Brahmanaspati on their back. So once Guha Kartikeya went to Surya, the Kshetrajna, on a lion. He, having born from the Atma of Harihara, is this lion who became his vehicle. The one born from the Turiya state of Shiva and Vishnu, Pancham, became Sheshnaka, the snake who became the vehicle. Kal who has the form of an elephant, became the vehicle of Ganesha. The elephant is considered majestic in the assembly of Vedas. As a vehicle of Ganesha, Mushaka is considered the best and praised as such by the Veda Purushas. So we have in entirety described the heaven or the Brahmanaspati, the Lord of Svananda. We conclude the session here and will take forth a continuation of the further discussion of Jnanasara in the subsequent session. Jai Gajanan.